moi, it's Joinen. And the other day, I was just walking down the street and somebody was like, hey, are you Joinen? And I was like, yes. And they came up to me and they said, your videos have changed my life. Here's $1 million. And then some person saw that and they said, I love this. And they started clapping. Why won't my camera focus on me? That is a story that definitely happened, which is the point of today. We're looking at That Happened posts. People telling stories that definitely totally happened. For example, we got some pics. A random photographer caught these shots while I was down at the beach during sunset without me knowing. Gotta love the magic of unintentional, spontaneous photo shoots. Just lounging back. How did you get the photos? That's creepy more than anything. Yeah, like if this was true, you should be worried. Technically, depending on where you are, taking a photo of someone in public is completely legal, even without their permission. But that's just the laws around here, and I don't know if beaches count. I don't know if there's exceptions. I'm just saying, if we're talking purely legally, it would still be very, very creepy. In most US states, you can take a picture of people in public places. Yeah, it sounds like a crazy law until you realize that, like, you have 1 million photos. Not 1 million, but you've got a lot of photos on your phone of random people. Like, if you couldn't take a photo of someone publicly, you couldn't take a photo of, like, anything out of fear of someone being in the photo. So it makes sense, but not if it's these photos. Once we went to the dentist with my mum, and it was just us and one other guy in the waiting room. Jurassic Park was starting on the TV, so we sat and waited through the entire movie. No names called. As the credits rolled, the other man got up and called my mum's name. He was the dentist. He was the dentist all along. He was none other than the dentist himself. It's not even believable. It's not remotely believable, but it's also like, what's the point of the story? I don't get it. They're saying that they were waiting at the dentist, but their dentist was just sitting next to them watching Jurassic Park on the TV through the entire movie. Just wanted to watch the movie. I asked my son, who works at a computer software manufacturer, if he ever heard of graphene oxide, and he said, yeah, they're using it to create artificial intelligence systems. When I told him that's what was in the jab, his jaw dropped. His words were drones. They're making drones. When I told my dad, who is a scuba diver, that there is water in all of our cups and we're just drinking it, he said, that's the stuff that we actively try avoid in scuba diving. In fact, in scuba diving, if you get lots of water inside you, you die. I am now a drone. I am but a drone. Wait till they find out that vaccines often have the actual virus themselves in it. At the movies, seeing old, packed theater. They tried showing previews, but everyone just started chanting old, 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 old so loudly that the manager came in and said, you know what? Just start the dang movie. And the whole place erupted into deafening cheers. What? That would be scary. You imagine just sitting at the movies. You're just sitting there trying to like watch a movie. You're like, yeah, that's an interesting trailer. Maybe I'll see that one. And then everyone around you is just screaming old over and over again. 5 years ago, my boyfriend broke up with me and said, you're a nerd who is obsessed with studying. This is already funny. It feels like a cartoon. I'm broken up with you because you're a nerd who likes studying. Ooh, I'm gonna go out and play basketball. I graduated from a good law school and became a successful lawyer. Today, I met my new client. Oh gosh, this is an actual Darman video. Who said that she wants to divorce her husband who cheated on her. Have we not read this before? And take everything she can from him. I feel like we had the exact same reactions as well. This man turned out to be my ex-boyfriend. I can't wait to see his face when he notices me in the courtroom, sitting next to his wife, who will rip him off thanks to my help. My nerdy help. I feel like we've seen this. What? People repost on Reddit? How can this be? That's right, 100% legal. That's exactly what we were saying last time. We were saying it was illegal. Deja vu. Yeah, it happens so often. You start reading these posts and you're like, I don't know if this is just like really generic or whether I read it on Reddit, not in a video, or whether this is a repost and it's already been in a video. This post is old. Someday you'll run out of content. That's not how the internet works. Wasn't this a Darman story? Yeah, whoever made this tweet up definitely watches too much Darman. This photo I took yesterday as I went to grab my phone, and I looked back at it and I thought, I'm genuinely happy. This is me in my home, happy, because I feel beautiful and life's good. Why can't people just take a photo and upload it? Why you gotta pretend you didn't mean to take it? You could have just started right here. I looked back at this photo and I thought, I'm genuinely happy. This is me in my home happy. So the phone just took the picture by itself. It was like proximity. You just go, whoa, and it just takes a photo. One of my exes just randomly sent me $200 for the trauma he caused me. This is the only form of apology I will be accepting from now on. $200? You guys are getting $200?
You guys are getting paid?
If only it works like that. Mods bullying Joinen, as always. Yeah. I don't understand. You guys are always, people are always talking about, do you pay your mods? Sometimes I feel like maybe the mods need to pay for all the trauma. I'm joking. I'm obviously joking.
Sorry for any trauma viikosta to you, Joinen pienempi kuin 3.
Thank you. It's funny because that's literally you paying me for when you roast someone but you stuttered. I remember once in high school, the captain of the football team pushed me down in the hallway. I told him that I'll challenge him to a battle of the mind, but I see he has none. After that, he left me alone, and I actually got invited to several parties that weekend and got with his ex. This guy watches a lot of anime or something. I see you can push me down some stairs, but would you win in a battle of the mind? Fancy a game of chess. A friend of mine ridiculed me for buying an iPhone. He went out and bought an Android phone to show me that it is just as good at a lower price. Jeez, calm down, camera. I'm right here. I'm with you. Bought a phone. He tried to demonstrate it, but the demonstration failed. Then he dropped it. The battery cover came off, and the battery scooted across the floor. He couldn't put it back together because the little plastic tab on the battery cover had broken off. Then he went out and bought an iPhone. And then he can never replace his battery again, even if it degrades over the course of like a year and a half. I've got an Android, and I can't replace the battery in it. But I wouldn't mind if I could. It's a feature. It's a feature. Imagine just being able to pop that bad boy out and chuck another one in. Bring that back. The dislike. Yeah, this person disliked it before the screenshot. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the situation where he's like, no. Androids are better than iPhones. To prove that, I'm going to go buy one right now. Here it is. Oh, battery comes out on the floor. Oh, well, I was wrong. I'm going to go out and buy an iPhone right now. I recently asked my friend's little girl what she wanted to be when she grows up. She said she wanted to be a prime minister someday. This is Australia? Both of her parents, Labour voters, were standing there. So I asked her, if you were prime minister, what would be the first thing you would do? How little are we talking? Little kids don't want to be prime minister. She replied, I'd give food and houses to all the homeless people. Her parents beamed. Wow. What a worthy goal, I told her. But you don't have to wait until you're prime minister to do that. You could do it right now, little child, for the for the low payment of $49.99. You can come over to my house and mow the lawn, pull weeds and sweep my yard, and I'll pay you £50. Wait, what? Okay, so this is UK, first of all. But also, what? You don't have to be Prime Minister. Come and do some chores. Come and do some work at my place. Then I'll take you over to the grocery store where the homeless guy hangs out, and you can give him the £50 to use towards food and a new house. She thought over for a few seconds, and then she looked me straight in the eye and asked, why doesn't the homeless guy come over and do the work, and you can just pay him £50? I said, welcome to the Conservative Party. Her parents still aren't speaking to me. Peace out. A new house for £50? Dude, you'd be surprised what you can find on eBay. Or the poster can just give the guy £50 of groceries. I don't know. I guess there's a lot in this one. I'm just hung up on the idea that some little girl wants to be a prime minister. I feel like I've never heard that in my life. That a child is like, what do you want to be a growing up? I want to be a prime minister. I feel like I didn't even know what a prime minister was until I was at least in double digits. I mean, maybe she's in double digits. And I couldn't have named our prime minister until I was at least a teenager. I swear it would have been like 15 before I could have told you who our prime minister is. Top 10 uncoolest jobs. It really is. It's nothing like the president. The president gets all this love. Like, it's such a cool thing. It's the president of the United States. Prime Minister of Australia. It's like, okay. It's not cool. Or, you know, UK or whatever. It doesn't have the same punchiness to it as the president. Wrinkly Biden. I'm not saying that the presidents are cool. I'm saying the title president is like so like esteemed. It's so fancy. And then prime minister is like, it's just kind of lame. I had a meeting with one of my clients recently. They have a new CFO that I was to meet to discuss a consulting contract. During our meeting, the CFO, in front of 4 others at the table, asked why I was using an expensive fountain pen, Pilot 823, to take notes when a $1 ball pen does the same thing. I asked her why she drives an expensive German car, Audi, when a used Toyota does the same thing. She nodded and smiled. Everyone chuckled. And I got the contract. How expensive is a Pilot A23? Because that's what the real flex is here. This whole post is just someone flexing that they've got a Pilot 823. $350. Okay, first of all, this didn't happen. But if we're gonna give a good definitive reason as to why, I just feel like if you're the type of person to be like, hey, why are you writing in a fancy pen when a $1 ballpoint pen does the same thing? Then you probably don't recognize an expensive pen when you see one, right? Because like, it's just a pen. How do you know that it's expensive? I would never look at a pen and assume the thing is $350. $350? You'd get literally 350 ballpoint pens for that. True, that is how dollars work. I want to try a $350 pen so bad now. I feel like it would be disappointing. Writing it, like how it would feel and whatever, you'd be like, okay, yeah, it's good. But as with any hobby, it's like the expensive stuff is probably only really appreciated if you're like super into it and you actually understand what makes it expensive. Oh, Muji do a good, fairly cheap but kind of cool fountain pen. Not that I ever write with a pen. I'm a 28-year-old doctor with a mortgage, have been adulting for a decade, and yet the discharge coordinator kept calling me the little one yesterday in a cooing tone because I'm the new baby doctor on the ward. For the 1000th time, please stop infantilizing stuff. This literally happened to me. My response was, I'm a wife, mother, doctor, and a woman. Very far from being a child. The whole hospital heard about it, and a year later, the medical director offered me a job because he had heard the story and liked that I stood up for myself. This is the least cool comeback I've ever heard. Excuse me. I am a wife, a mother, doctor, and a woman. So don't go calling me a child. Isn't screaming I'm not a child the most childish thing you could do? I was having a full breakdown in the juice bar and someone got me water. The employees gave me a free acai bowl and smoothie. Someone else sat down and talked to me until I calmed down. And then someone else handed me $100 and told me to feel better. Maybe humans are good. Maybe humans are good, but they're not that good. They simply are not. Why would they lie about this? It's so funny when they bring in and someone handed me some cash. Could you imagine that being your response? Even if you were the other person, you see someone crying and you're like, I want to help them out. And so you pull out $100 and you're like, there you go. Be happy. What? Why are you still sad? You have money. Quote from my 7-year-old daughter. You're a great person. Smart, beautiful, nice. You deserve to be treated good. And I mean, boys literally fall in love with you so easy. Just feel better and be a single Pringle for a while. I mean, it's possible. It is possible. Plausible until single Pringle? Wait, I feel like single Pringle is common language. I feel like everybody says single Pringle. Especially if the mum says a lot of single Pringle and then the 7-year-old daughter just picks it up. What would a 7-year-old know about being single? Hopefully something. Single Pringle is the only plausible part, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not getting caught up on the single Pringle part. Pringles are good. OMG. So the other day, I was walking in the streets of Toronto and I had my phone in my pocket and some guy tried to pickpocket me. Thankfully, I could feel someone took my phone. So I immediately spun around, whacked my phone out of his hand and said, "Nice try, mother fluffer," in front of my whole family. Smash onto the floor, and the battery came out and slid across the ground. And then the back wouldn't clip back on. It's really annoying. Maybe I'll go buy an iPhone. Anyway, tell me your story down below. That definitely happened. And get some of the Lemon Carton merch. It is going away. You've still got a bit of time. It's not going away like tomorrow. I'm still waiting on some of the samples for the new stuff. But there is new stuff that is replacing the Lemon Carton merch. It will have a Lemon Carton on it, but it's not going to be the same merch. So now you know. Bye.